Yazol. Welcome to the hot kitchen of Yazol Podcast. We are the three amigos, your story chefs on duty, cooking you some of the hottest stories from out there. Sot Sukun. And now, straight out of Vancouver, Canada, the big man, Zolkebir on the wheels of steel. Please welcome DJ Bakumba.
This is Bakumba in the house, guys. Yeah, welcome to the show.
Okay, from Edmonton, his friends call him Le Japonais, music teacher and master guitarist. Please welcome Dennis Lissa.
Hi everyone, thank you.
Yeah, and I am your chef on the grill, Dedi Seyi, the Sultan of Small London, Zolkebir Musuran Selek. So welcome. Coming up today on Yazol Podcast, the highlights. South Sudanese man sentenced to 20 years in a Kenyan jail for robbery. South Sudanese expert assumes top job at East African regional body. Ugandan man found with 24 human skulls. A love triangle turns very awry in Kenya, landing a Kenyan man in jail. Yazol. Also, President Salva Kiir has, after a consultative meeting, postponed the national elections previously slated for December this year, meaning the transition period has been extended to 2026. Let's look and see what will happen. The dean at the faculty of the University of Juba has gone viral for the same because he has made a prediction of South Sudan's political trajectory. That's from 2 years ago. Dr. Elfaki Chol correctly predicted that the transitional period in South Sudan would be extended up to 2026. The viral piece was posted on his Facebook page. I'll read a little bit here. CPA period was 6 years. Transition periods 2011 to 2025, 14 years. Additional transition period 2026, 1 year. So 6 plus 14 plus 1 is 21 years. SPLA liberation struggle years from 1983 to 2005, 21 years. So Dr. Chol concluded, don't think out of this context. What did he mean by that? I don't know. You tell us. You can share your thoughts on our platforms. Too many questions. Maybe Professor will explain to us soon. Dr. Chol is a current dean of the Faculty of Law at the School of Law at the University of Juba. Okay, since we are living in biblical times, maybe Dr. Chol should switch from professor to prophet.
I don't know what motivated him to write that article, but things in South Sudan in terms of politics are kind of quite predictable. Mm-hmm. People can make a wild guess and then arrive at the same conclusion based on the parameters of what is happening in the country.
Yeah,
I don't think the professor has kind of
no juju power.
No juju power. He's just just pure from what he can see happening based on the parameters of the political system that is happening.
The political climate. Okay. Bakumba, any thoughts?
I think the situation in Sudan, as Dennis put it, is pretty much it's easy to predict. Actually, it doesn't require rocket science.
Okay. Yeah.
Because one thing people need to understand is like election is not just voting. Election is a process. Mm-hmm. You need proper preparation. You need independent institutions, you need independent military, independent police, independent parliament, checks and balances. Election is not just we cannot think that we just wake up and line up and vote. That is not election. Election is a process. You need to establish institutions that can actually work, that can check on each other, and then you can have a free and fair election. Like if you are to go, let's say His Excellency Salva Kiir allows election to take place tomorrow. What are we actually electing? I'm I'll call it selection.
Selection instead of election. Okay.
Selection is a process. Selection is not even a process.
Okay.
So ours would have been a selection. Even if you're next year, it's still a selection.
Okay.
Because you don't have institution, that's a rule.
Yeah.
We're just a new nation.
Yeah.
Like if you compare US and then South Sudan, like we are just new in the game. And if you can see what happened when Trump Like what happened, the instruction that happened like in 2021 or 22.
Yeah.
The one in January in 2022, I guess. So you can see that there was a lot of chaos in America, like the system that has been established for a very long time. And now they are having a problem with their election system.
Okay.
So how about us, the South Sudanese? So I think it's going to take us some time to come to that system of a proper peaceful transition of power.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Kenya used to have what they call mololongo. You line up behind your choice. Yeah. So because
there was one time where I remember when we used to when we were in Juba and we used to select our tribal chiefs.
Yeah.
One time we had a mololongo, the line up style. So one person stand and we have to mobilize our people. One of them was my uncle. So my uncle, his line was really short.
The family was not supportive. Huh? You didn't bribe enough people. What happened?
There was not enough bribing and we didn't have goods.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to our first story from South Sudan.
Yazol.
In Juba, rain could not stop the game also at the Juba National Stadium, where Tito Okello opened the scoreboard through a penalty at the 15th minute after he was taken down in the area. Bafana Police followed with a goal after 2 minutes and closed the first half with a goal. And then a free kick from Tito Okello was converted into South Sudan's second goal by Valentino Uel at the 57th minute. But the match ended with Bright Stars losing 2-3 to the Bafana after a 94th minute free kick from South Africa turned into a volley from Bafana substitute Mbatha, which sank the Bright Stars' hopes of pulling at least a draw in Juba. Meanwhile, Uganda beat the Republic of Congo by 2-0 in the same group. And Kenya from the region beat Namibia by 2-0, and Tanzania also beat Guinea by the same margin. The Bright Stars' next fixtures will be on the October 7th and October 15th against Uganda, 11th November against Congo, and 19th against South Africa. That's November 19th. This, I hope, will be more better. They'll bring us better results because the Bright Stars, I think the Bright Stars need to eat asida, tegil kida, asida bafra, lotir min torit in the coming days. No bamia, no akilat kafif, no spaghetti, no macaroni. Just heavy luguma. Albijibu gua. One gumbula, tawali. Shabaga fadi, Albigidu net. From Yazol, we wish them all the best on the October 7th match. Of course, we support the national team. Yeah, Jamal, what are your thoughts on the game, the last game, Bakumba? Did you watch it?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I saw the highlights.
Yes.
The highlights here and there. I was not able to watch it live because of the time difference.
Okay.
And then I think it was very impressive, actually, very impressive to lose at the dying minutes of the game. It really impressed me. And then we almost pull off a draw against the Bafana.
Yeah.
It's not an easy game.
Yeah.
Those guys have a long history in the African tournament, so it was very impressive just to pull off a 3-2.
Yes.
For me, I would really congratulate the Bright Stars for doing that, and they actually give us hope that there's actually hope. There's a hope that they may able to play. They may pull off some few games against Congo and against the Republic of Congo and Uganda. We hope for better results out of that. But yeah, congratulations to them. We always support the national team, and the Bright Stars are shining. 3-2. That's really, even though we don't get a point, but that's really a good thing. We have 2 goals now. The goals actually counts, Yeah, even though you miss a point, the goals matter when it comes to the group stages. So. Yeah, so it was a wonderful game, and I want to really congratulate them.
Yeah. I personally feel like they need to work more on defense because there seems to be a little volatility in the defense posture of the Bright Stars. But those are very technical things. It takes time. Dennis, any thoughts on?
And like you said, really diet, our local diet, our boys need to focus on that.
Yeah.
Those manufactured food.
Yes.
Organic,
yeah.
Organic, this matter leave you as a pizza, all this. If 6 months.
Yeah. Bizidu shurban ako korangrib dek alokon haja tegil. Dennis, any thoughts?
I haven't watched the game, but I saw some highlights, as Bakumba have said. But I'm very impressed by the mood that those tournament has brought in the country. I saw two people that tried to sneak in the stadium.
Yes.
I don't know if some of you saw that.
No.
So that was that was so funny. Yeah, but
what happened? What happened with those two people?
I think they didn't get to the stadium through the main door, but I think they didn't pay by they're trying to sneak in the stadium. Yeah, so they were caught, and then some of them managed to escape through. There was kind of an opening. I don't encourage that, but I think sport in general is bringing the country together, and that's what I like. And it kind of create kind of a mood for people to forget their own problem, mood for people kind of something that to get busy with it. So that's my take. Like I hope the national team wins. I'm 100% supporting Bright Star campaign team. I hope they win. I hope they kind of progress in sport, and I think sport is something that if we can invest into it much, it kind of something that will bring the country together to some extent, create kind of a sense of unity.
That's true. Okay, let's go to our second story. South Sudanese man sentenced to 20 years in a Kenyan jail for robbery. Wayne Saddam, a South Sudanese refugee in Kenya, was found guilty of robbing a girl in the Kakuma refugee camp of a mobile phone worth 10,000 Kenyan shillings, which is about $90. He will serve 20 years in jail for the crime. The Kenyan High Court upheld the conviction in the county headquarters, Lodwar. The presiding judge of the High Court sitting in the Turkana County headquarters found that the accused was properly convicted and sentenced by the magistrates court in Kakuma. Saddam was charged with the crime, but had appealed the sentence. The victim was Francine, a refugee girl in the Kakuma camp, and she testified for the prosecution. She had been sent to fetch her father's phone from a charging kiosk. On her way home, she was accosted by three men who included the accused. The accused punched her and held her by the neck, while the other two emptied her pockets, taking away the cell phone. After the two robbers took off, she was able to tussle and struggle with the accused, and she held him down. People came, rescued, and eventually the Kenyan police came and they took the accused into custody. That led to the charging at the Kakuma law courts, 20 years in jail. Very, very sad. Zol fi Kakuma ita refugee ta kamambora ta la harami. Je majerima ya Bakumba.
Alright, Jerima college. You left your country to come and seek refuge. And then you're stealing in the refugee camp. Man, that's the consequences. And he's actually looking at the case. As only eventually likely to get 20 years. I believe robbery and violence in case is a capital punishment.
Yes.
If I'm not wrong, I'll look it up later, but I think it's considered the same as treason actually. They're almost together.
Yeah, that's why he got the 20 years, because it's
you get 20 years is like, otherwise it's actually a death penalty. You can actually be or life imprisonment. So just because of a $90 worth of a phone. So even though I feel sorry for the guy, but you know what? Crime is a crime. There's no little crime, there's no big crime. So when you break the law, you face the consequences. I know the economy is hard, but you know it's good to find means of living in a legitimate way instead of resulting into stealing, robbing people who are your fellow, most likely your fellow refugees facing the same situation. So he has made his consequences, and it's very sad for him and his family. But it is what it is. Actions there's consequences for every action always.
Quite unfortunate. Dennis, your thoughts?
I think it is very sad to hear that happening for South Sudanese that are living in Kenya. It is bringing us a bad name. We still our name is not that bad, in terms of the crime, but this can start to stain our name. So it is good to keep that image. Like what Bakumba had said, crime is a crime, regardless of how the amount of, in terms of the money is. But for you to come and try to steal is just not acceptable. So أنا بتمنى من كل الناس السودانيين القاعدين برا try to give us a good name, not stain our name. Yesterday I was hearing a story about a Nigerian scammer that was brought to America to be trialed. Okay. I don't know if you guys know about that case.
Is that the old case?
Yeah.
What was his name? The guy from Dubai?
No, not the guy from Dubai. But this has something to do with the scam, internet scam. So the guy was kind of brought through FBI, brought from Nigeria to America because the case involved a suicide. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but the person that was speaking about the crime was saying that people, you Nigerians, you are bringing us bad name. You know. Okay. It is good to because this affect other people who want to travel. Like for example, people who want to travel to Kenya. So going forward is gonna give South Sudanese bad name. So I hope we, as a South Sudanese, we should be mindful of doing that.
Yeah. Maybe the guy should be deported home and taken to Budi County or Lekefia Bakumba, stuck in a hole. Yeah.
No, he is deported to some dry area there, and then that will good.
Yeah, find him a corner somewhere in Kapoita.
Yeah, and back to the story of the Kenyan, the refugee who is in jail now for 20 years. Can you imagine being jail in that London place, man?
Yeah.
That place is dry. The place is dry, and 100% the jails there must be the worst probably in the whole country. So, if you guys in the camp, man, you stay safe from those jails. Jail is not a good place.
Yeah,
especially in that environment.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back again to South Sudan, Juba. South Sudanese journalist jailed for defamation. South Sudanese journalist George Ruot was arrested this past Monday in Juba following a defamation lawsuit filed by the Union of Journalists of South Sudan, UJOS. Ruot was, of course, a vocal critic of the leadership of the union, accusing them of corruption, mismanagement of funds, altering the union's constitution, and failing to convene a General Assembly meeting. The Union of Journalists, of course, President, that is Patrick Oyed, said they tried to resolve the issue with Ruot amicably but failed. So it provoked the arrest, but it has gotten the group a lot of criticism from other journalists who view it as a potential assault on their press freedom and a troubling precedent for the country's media landscape. George Ruot was, of course, a program coordinator at UJOS previously, and he was representing Unity State on the National Executive Board of the union. Is it right for inter-union matters to be tabled in public very clearly like that? In your opinion, Dennis? Because I think this was like an internal problem, probably a leadership wrangle between the group in the union, and then now it's very public. It's gotten somebody in jail. Is it really worth it? Could they have not found maybe arbitration through somebody?
I think we don't have the full story of what exactly happened. I don't know much about the story. Like the journalist, did he kind of come? Maybe time like there is a lot of things that has gone inside, but I think. If there should have been a way for them to resolve it amicably among themselves, that would have been the ideal solution. But we don't know the dynamics of the problem. What happened exactly inside the union? Okay. But there is a lot of things. Has the union progressed? Sometimes, if the internal communication is not up to date, is not that strong. People turn to use other alternatives. So maybe that could have been what that transpired.
Yeah, okay.
Yazol,
There is no way a union of journalists, you guys are supposed to be promoting independence of the press, independence of, be ready to be criticized, whether you are the UJOS president, UJOS cleaner, it doesn't matter who you are. You should be the first people not even to utter the word defamation.
Yeah.
If somebody write an article against you, defend yourself using the same article. That's why you go to school as a journalist. Freedom of press, you are the first person, you guys are the first supposed to defend that right. Not taking your fellow journalists to court for defamation. Write an article against him. If it's accusing the videos of any corruption, right? To debunk his theory. Let the public be the one to judge. But it's very surprising. I think it's very simple for you just whoever the president, the leaders is. Me personally, I think it's a shame and we need to do better. It doesn't matter who you are. Be ready for criticism, and you should be protecting the right of to criticize you guys, it doesn't matter what he says, but you cannot call for defamation in a place where you're supposed to be fighting for free press. Defend yourself using your computer, defend yourself using your pen. Thank good theory. That's what I can add here.
Okay. Yeah. South Sudanese expert assumes regional role. Dr. John Deng Biar Ding, a South Sudanese academic, has officially assumed the position of Executive Secretary at the Northern Corridor Transit and Transport Coordination Authority Secretariat in Mombasa, Kenya. He is an academic and an infrastructure development expert. While handing over, his outgoing counterpart from Uganda, that's Omai Nyarandi, said his tenure as a secretary at the institution saw the traffic of trucks leading into South Sudan increase from half to 2 million tons this year. So Dr. Deng Diar said his appointment is significant for South Sudan, highlighting the country's growing role in regional cooperation and development initiatives. The Northern Corridor is crucial for enhancing infrastructure and trade development across the East African region. It's formed by the countries from the East African Community, extending from the east all the way to the Congo. Do we have enough South Sudanese experts in regional bodies and international corridors of power? Of course, not quite. So something like this, with Dr. John being out there, is a very positive for the country. It will encourage many people, of course, to go down the same way.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing for us to have somebody who can represent us. I remember that was 2 years ago. There was a kind of a East African summit. And then kind of a South Sudanese were kind of underrepresented.
Okay.
So it kind of brought kind of grievances among the South Sudanese that they were not represented very well. But for us to have somebody who can represent us in the regional body, I think that kind of will give us kind of a way, or at least somebody that can advocate for things that we want as a South Sudanese.
Bakumba?
Yeah, in terms of experts, you guys don't forget His Excellency President Salva Kiir is the current chairman of the East African Community.
Yes.
So we have a prominent South Sudanese in the big regional body.
Yes.
And then I believe, I don't know where Luca Biong is nowadays. Luca Biong is another intellectual.
Yes. I think Uncle Luca is in Australia now.
His family doing big things in Australia. One of the smartest guys in the country. So they're quite a lot of South Sudanese who are working underground. And they may be quiet, but they say a lot. So I think that's a good position. Because the Northern Corridor is that's a big strategic route. Basically, that's the lifeline. For those countries that are out, basically that are landlocked. So it's a good thing, and
I hope at the body he will agitate for the opening up of the LAPSET project, which would connect South Sudan to Ethiopia and Kenya all the way to the port of Lamu. That would really improve the trade, because we need that, right?
And also, Dedi, I think we should also advocate for a pipeline. Instead of going through the North Sudan, maybe it should be something that should be in mind to see a way of extending the pipeline, maybe through Ethiopia,
Yeah, I think the president recently talked about that when he visited China. I think he and the Chinese government had talks on the same. I think they're trying to connect South Sudan through Ethiopia into Djibouti, to open up an alternative, because as we're having problems with the situation in the Sudan. So yeah, definitely. It would ease the burden. And sometimes I also tend to think, how about thinking backwards? Safata Congo and Safata Central Africa, that corridor also needs to be open, because we can go to the Atlantic, opening up the country for very many opportunities, economic opportunities. Yeah.
I think it is also very strategic because for us, depending on the North Sudan, it can be used as we can be blackmailed.
Yes.
Like if Sudanese government, let's suppose that they kind of put their house in order, and they happen to be in problem with the South Sudan, they can use it as a kind of a weapon to cripple us economically. So I think having an alternative, I think it is very strategic for our own interest.
Yeah. That's why you don't put all your eggs in one basket, right?
Definitely.
But you're thinking of opening up to Central Africa. Have anybody of you guys ever met somebody from Central African Republic? I have never seen one. What are people doing in that country? They don't move, they don't travel, or what is that Central Africa? Our neighbors, but I've never met anybody from Central Africa Republic.
You remember the president of Central Africa from before was somewhere linked to South Sudan, right? The guy who had to escape through South Sudan, and there was talk of having a South Sudanese passport.
Was it the dictator?
No, that was Bokassa. Very recently, I kind of forgot his name. Yeah, but yeah.
So, is it Dennis Susangiso?
No. Dennis is from Congo Republic.
For Congo, okay.
Yes.
Central Africa, I've never met anybody.
Yeah. I think if you meet anybody from Yambio, you basically met a Central Africa, because the model the same. Is Zande in Central Africa, Zande in South Sudan, in the Congo. So you just need to say Guinea Pie, you're good. Yeah.
Yazol.
This story, Bakumba, will fascinate you. Is from Magwi. A man in Magwi and has been circumcised by rats. This is from iRadio. A groundbreaking medical procedure was performed in Magwi, Eastern Equatoria this past week. The news, of course, spread like bushfire all over South Sudan. The question is, how did Mr. Rat end up circumcising the man? I think this is my own personal theory. Dr. Lomiji, a.k.a. Jenafar, decided to successfully perform the operation, after the Magwi man had a very big dose of acida buffer, I think, and he was sedated, completely passed out. The guy's name was called Longoya. Of course, when he was busy sleeping, Kanfimotoroshuya, snoring, the rat went into action and did what it did, Of course, I think the rat also did a press conference, because iRadio, Mirai FM, SSBC must have been there. We got the news, right? I think he was also accusing human beings. I think this circumcision is an attack. Jamadel Al-Hibu, Harago, Ferrano, Rumbaude, be careful. Those guys are coming. I know. I'm not going to mention names, So be very careful. Umon kan bada zerede, we never know. There are too many rats, Dennis, what do you think? Gisat Ferrande got too much for Juba. People rats are stealing money in Raserir or something.
This is very fascinating. I never see that coming.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, how did he end up being attacked by a rat?
It's not an attack. It's not an attack. He was literally circumcised. Yeah. So
I'm trying to picture. Okay.
I think he just passed out. Sometimes Ferrandel, when they're chewing on you. From my childhood, these are the stories we had. Galo baafoko suyakida or baadi, baafoko baadi. So he'll chew you until you finish.
Yeah, but normally the button takura, right? When it happened, it's easy, right?
Yeah.
But في محل الفار مشى أكل فوق ده يعني it is just يعني this man must have been like very drunk.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Bakumba, your thoughts?
I don't know why whether he was sleeping at home.
Yeah.
Or apparently he must have been on his birthday suit.
Yeah.
I will be Safar
find him. Yeah, exactly.
He's busy and taking off his clothes. Maybe Israel would do it too hot.
Yeah.
So it's a very fascinating story that, but it's good. At least he got free services instead of going to pay a doctor,
Like in Bakumba, did he kind of wanted to be circumcised? That's the question. Maybe he might not want to be circumcised. So So far the Bukuna Malhaja and maybe he was not.
Dennis, I think the far was doing him a favor. That day he needs the help. Musada West, he's a very peaceful far who was just doing a very noble service.
This guy should be happy now,
I think they had to take him to a hospital in Kitgum, but they brought him back. So well, that's South Sudan for you, a story which is very funny. I hope you enjoyed it out there too.
Yazol.
Okay, now you're entering dangerous territory. If you don't behave, Jelda, Sot, you know what I mean. Who is Bakumba whipping this time? Okay, now there's a video out there. Of course, being a football referee is not an easy thing. You're supposed to be an arbitrator of sports. You're supposed to be just and fair in your decisions. But sometimes, even if you're fair and just and judging by FIFA rules and regulations, somebody will think, no matter what fairness you have, somebody will still think, oh, you favored my opponent, you did this or you did not do that wrong. I think Bakumba has something to say. Itabi Jelda dumuna lela.
We saw that video of this referee. It's a small clip, so we don't know the entire background, the story. If somebody has it there, can tell us the whole story. But the bottom line is, one of the players really went and punched the referee or the linesman, because I saw him falling down with his flag. Probably he must have either flagged the guy offside, that's my belief, or anything happened in that kind of scenario. But the bottom line is, like, we need to understand that sport is a sport, Sport is a sport. Tell a referee sometimes they make mistakes, but it doesn't mean you as a sportsman, part of the discipline, but that's a sport, you are not supposed to be physical, whether with the opponent or the arbitrator of the game, who is the referee. So now they bring embarrassment to the bright star, because the bright star needs people who are noble. They represent the country, and we are not there to fight our referees, or if referees are there to make mistakes. It's part of the game. People make mistakes. That's why they introduced the VAR for so many years. People have been complaining about the game, right? So we need to improve on that. We need to be someone who playing the game. So now I'll mind the move. I might understand soccer, might understand sport. They are not just sort. Especially Donald Dugo has a you are not a good sportsman. So if you end the quick,
okay, so Takonas Malela, you had it. Who Bakumba was whipping today, be on the watch out. Matakun, you never know. Bakumba's sword may land on you next time, so be careful. All right. Kupe Bibamba, and Carolina, backed by the amazing sound of Uganda's own Abika band. The concert turned out to be one of the greatest music events out of the Pearl of Africa this year. Awilo and Chike, quite the ladies' men, wowed the Ugandan fans who danced their hearts out, singing out along to their songs, their favorite songs in Kampala. Of course, if you're in Kampala and didn't show up for the concert, I feel very, very sorry for you, or you missed out. Dennis, what are your thoughts on Awilo being still popular like this at his age?
Yeah, Awilo is popular because Awilo was not playing a conventional Congolese music. Awilo kind of came out with a different kind of a genre, which is called Afro-Techno. Something like rapping beginning, kida, rapping. So this kind of is not a typical Congolese music. And Awilo started as an underdog. Zaman dag data kan kalamta le Congolese and Awilo, they don't believe in Awilo because Awilo was nobody. Awilo, he started his career as a drummer. And then he came from a very respectable school. Leano Awilo was a member of the OK Jazz. And then Awilo was playing as a drummer for La Viva Musica, which was
Papa
Wemba and then King Emania.
Yeah.
So those are very respectable schools. And those schools, actually, they were not playing a typical Congolese music. They were playing kind of mixture of R&B, rap, and then Congolese. They were using Congolese rhythm, mixing it with the foreign influence. So that gave Awilo kind of different edges, kind of to grow his fan base. So based on that, that's what kept Awilo all this time. And his music was very infectious in early 2000 and 1990s. يعني حتى عندنا في شمال السودان مندكورات ده كله من بسمع Awilo. He has a lot of fun in Nigeria. Nigeria has they love Awilo genuinely. So that's what kept Awilo. Like his music was kind of very infectious. And if we ask ourselves what makes a great music? Great music is always a simple melody and then memorable chorus. Yani sometimes this song I can't get it out of my mind, right? So Awilo has more a lot of those songs in you can easily remember and you can easily sing to the melodies that he was the song that he came up with. So I think, in my opinion, that's what kept Awilo all this time, and that gave him the edge to grow a large fan base.
Okay, yeah. And his connection with Chike, how did that come about? You have an idea?
I don't know how it came about, but I think Nigerian, they love Awilo.
Okay.
Based on his kind of music genre that he plays. Okay. And this kind of gave Awilo a lot of connection with the Nigerian musician. And has the area star.
Yes.
He kind of did a coverage for Awilo as well. And then there is a lot of Nigerian musicians that P Square. He did also collaboration with Awilo. So Awilo is still in the market compared to other Congolese music, and most of Congolese music is lost. Their music is kind of outdated. Dancing to Congolese music.
Yeah.
You can know that Gorle in the old generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Awilo is still current, and he still have a lot to offer. And I should use him in part of the concert in Uganda. The performance was really good, but the instrumentation, I think, is not that up to date. And Dema Congolese the instrumentation. You can feel that. But in any event, it was a good show. Yeah, and in terms of his presence on the stage, the performance, the choreography, it was really very beautiful. I like it. So Awilo is still in the game, and Awilo is not going anywhere anytime soon. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to Africa now. Ugandan man found with 24 human skulls in Uganda, Kampala. A Ugandan man, Mr. Damulira Godfrey, could be charged under the Prevention and Prohibition of Human Sacrifice Act. Animal remains and skins were found in the man's shrine in a suburb of Kampala. He claims to be a traditional healer and a herbalist, but Uganda's Traditional Healers Association has distanced itself from him. It was the first. It's not the first time that such shocking news has been out of into the public in Uganda. Last month, police discovered 17 human skulls in another shrine in the central district of Mpigi. That's 41 kilometers or 25 miles from Kampala. Both discoveries, of course, have been linked to human sacrifice rituals. There are people in some African countries who believe in human body parts being good luck charms, and there are things you can use to curse your enemies and things like that. Quite difficult. You guys remember somewhere in Tanzania kan Jamadel Bekatulo albino del Ketira takanzol albino somewhere in Tanzania, in most of those southern African countries. In South Africa, for example, they'll chop you up and use you for, I think, muti, which is very, very sad. Bakumba, what are your thoughts on that?
I think those beliefs in some of the African communities about human sacrifice and spirits and superstitions and all this kind of nonsense. They don't really augur well for most of the communities, and it's not relevant in this day and age. That people still have to believe in those kind of things. African spirituality is there, but it shouldn't be involving collecting body parts or sacrificing people for the sake of at least some spirit somewhere that will make you rich or whatever. I'm pretty sure I'm sitting with those girls believing that those charms can make somebody's body probably the poorest guy in that village with those girls. But maybe then they can make someone rich. So those are kind of some of the stupidity that we should leave, because you see a wizard, a witch doctor or a wizard in a small shrine there, claiming that they can make you a millionaire. When himself is languishing in poverty. So things like that. I'm happy. The herbalists, the traditionalists can distance themselves. There's true traditional doctors that are there in Africa. Where people actually know that medicines are found in the forest healers, the forest healers. So they're good traditional doctors there. Same with the Chinese traditional medicine, African traditional medicine, they are there. But let's stop this stupidity of assuming that somebody's gonna get rich by killing another fellow human being and doing some stupid sacrifices here and there.
Dennis, remember when we were growing up, Gagal Nasmin Safata. Wow, nagal mushkila as well. When it gagal indum is it computers? You see somebody, you do something. Can you update us?
In the Banda.
Okay.
And then finish with the troubleshooting and in the roboto border, they will troubleshoot and then they will go to
Okay.
So I think there is a lot of some of the story are not true. It is just a kind of a myth that people build over time about Abil Banda and all these things. Those things doesn't exist. It exists, but sometimes it is out of desperation. People want to become rich very quickly. People want to get a quick solution to their problem.
Yes.
And this thing has a spillover even to the churches. A lot of churches now, when you go to the church, it is just a witch doctor performing stuff to try to convince people that they can get rich very quickly. And I think our government should take a very strong stand against those things, because people who become victim of those kind of action are just normal people, very naive people, gullible people that they may not have a deep insight of what is happening. And I have seen that a lot of churches in Nigeria, Manjiro of South Africa, try to do their stuff there. People there are more gullible. And trying to get money. And the main idea is to extract money from poor people. So going back to the story, I think Zol al-Qatl Naza, it is coming from that kind of idea, desperation. If you can get human skull into a Zol, you're gonna get rich and with zero effort. This thing doesn't happen. حاجة لنا در نسترس فوق هو موضوع there are true traditional healers in the African listener. But those people, they don't choose themselves. Those people are being chosen. And it is not for any malicious intention. And those things are done to intercede on the behalf of the community. And people who are chosen, they are chosen based on their own integrity and how they carry their life. I am a true herbalist or true traditional healer. They are a person full of integrity. They are very respected. And I agree, those associations who distance themselves from the action of this guy, they could be right. This doesn't represent a true African spirituality. And I think في Rwanda, Paul Kagame issue a law about those kind of actions. And I think it is the responsibility of government to protect people, to make sure that the proper law is in place so that the citizens are really protected. And it is crazy what is happening these days.
I hope the police in Uganda can use DNA technology to check whose skulls those are. And then if they can figure out 24 of 17 skulls, that's too many people, quite unfortunate. Let's go to Kenya, across the border from Uganda. A love triangle has landed a Kenyan man in jail. In the coastal town of Malindi, a man will spend 10 years of his life in jail. Meanwhile, the woman he cohabited with, whose husband he killed, walks free. The two had been charged with the murder of Mr. Kalume on February 16, 2019. Both had pleaded guilty. The accused, Mr. Mzungu Dadu, was found guilty of the murder of the late Swale Kalume, who had come to his homestead to reclaim his wife. Neema, the woman in the love triangle who was also charged with the murder, was acquitted as the court ruled that no evidence was presented to prove that she was involved in the murder. She had left her late husband due to neglect. A witness testified that Mr. Dadu, the accused, had armed himself with a club, which he used to strike the late Kalume on the head. The accused denied committing the offense, saying he was not even home on the fateful day. He had gone out to tap wine in the neighborhood and remained there until the following day. But witnesses linked him to the murder, and a post-mortem report established that the deceased suffered from injuries to the head, which caused his death. Kalam ta hope this up sometimes. This guy is going to stay in jail for a long, long time, and the woman he was having a good time with is free. The Jerima Jahis, quite difficult.
This is a very difficult story, and that is always a message for men, Like if love doesn't work, don't take matter into your own hands, because you will be in jail, and your eve will be somebody will be chewing you properly. So you'll be rotting in jail. So if things don't work out, please walk away. There's so many other opportunities out there. There's a lot of relationship out there. You can always move on. You don't have to resort to violence. It's not about taking anybody's life for the sake of love or whatever you want to call it. So he's been jail, and his lover will move on. Somebody's going to be chewing her while he rots in jail. And the jail is not a fun place. I hear in Kenyan jails are very dangerous. You will end up being chewed with another man inside the jail. Yeah.
Yazol.
I think love should be free. Normally, like you should love the person that you love to make them feel that they're free to do whatever, to do whatever they want to do. But you cannot hold somebody at the gunpoint to be with you. Normally, if a person want to be with you, they will be with you. If they don't want, but you cannot resolve into violence.
Yeah.
There is many options out there. So if things doesn't work out, you need to do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Work out peacefully and preserve life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yazol.
That brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you again next Sunday. Of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Yazol TV. And then our Facebook page. Dennis had to leave early, so I take this chance to thank Dennis, to thank Bakumba. This has been Yazol TV. And salute to the Bright Stars for always doing us very good service. May God bless South Sudan, and we look forward to the game on October 7th.
Yazol.